To keep up to date with everything at Knights at the Game Table, all you have to do is click subscribe and then hit that tiny little notification button next to it, so every time we upload a new video, YouTube will be sure to let you know.
Hi, my name is Haibing. I'm going to be building one of the Ravnica pre-release packs. It's Boros, and I'm going to be opening up my pack now. So we opened up a Boros pre-release pack. What that means is one of the packs is all Boros, all red and white cards. So for sealed, we're probably leaning towards red and white. What I want to do right now is just to double check the non-Boros colors to see if it's anything I want to play. If there's any bombs that would pull me to the other colors. Nothing amazing so far. And what I'm doing is putting the cards I do want to play up front and the cards I think are unplayable towards the back. So I have an idea of, how many playables I have per color. Go Gary cards are all pretty bomby. We have 2 rares. The uncommon's very good, but we'll see. And I'm gonna do this with the rest of my colors. All right, so I've looked at all the cards and I kind of sorted out the good versus, like the cards I do want to play, the cards I, would really like to play, and the cards that are not gonna make the cut. And one of the first things I've noticed is we have 2 Boros Gilgates, and that's the pack we opened, and probably what we're gonna build. But we also opened 2 Iza Gilgates and 2 Celestia Gilgates, which are the bordering guilds for Boros. So we can go Boros and maybe splash for a couple of Iza cards, or splash for a couple of Celestia cards, depending on how we open. We have a lot of options here. First things first, we opened up some really good Golgari cards. A couple of rares, a very good Golgari common, but we don't really have enough. It's very good, it's just not powerful enough compared to what we open in our other colors. And it's gonna be like that just because we opened up a Boros guild pack where every single card in the pack is Boros. So you tend to just get 3 more uncommons and like a bomb rare mythic. It's mythic actually. So as much as I would like to play Golgari with these, with what we've opened, we don't have enough, unfortunately. On top of that, we have nothing in Celestia and nothing we're splashing for. So we're probably gonna do Boros with an Izzet splash from the looks of it. And the same thing for Dimir. None of the Dimir cards really jump out, and it's pretty hard to play red-white and blue-black in the same seal deck without the fixing. We can take away a couple of the off-color lockets. We opened up 3 Boros locket, which is pretty nice for sealed. Sealed's a slower format. So these are generally a little bit better. So I'm not sure we're gonna play all 3, we'll see. We also opened Raw Izzet Viscery, one of the best cards in the format, limited and constructed. It's just a card advantage engine, definitely one of the mythics you hope to open. Another card we're probably gonna be splashing for is Chemistry's Insight. It lets you draw 2, and later on lets you draw 2 more, which is very good in sealed. It's a slower format. You'll get the splash color eventually, and it's like 1 card for 4 cards. Toward the later on in the game, you're discarding a land for 2 extra cards. It's very, very good. The rest of the blue, we opened up some good blue. Unfortunately, there are also double blue, like Watcher in the Mist. It's a good flyer. Like Surveying 2 is basically drawing the card. At that point in the game, because you just put everything you don't want. You skip a couple of bad draw phases, essentially. And it's a flyer that can end the game. We're probably not going to be able to play that, because we want a good mana base. That's by far the most important thing in sealed. Put some of these, some of the other Izzet cards, Go cards are not that great. We're going to put those aside for now. Let's take a look at our Boros. The gold colors go. We opened up Aurelia, Exemplar of Justice. Probably one of the best cards you can open by itself. It's a 4/5 flyer with Mentor, Vigilance and Trample, and flying too. So for 4 mana, pretty insane. And it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose up to one target creature you control until the end of turn. That creature gets +2/+0 in trample if it's red, gains vigilance if it's white. So you can play it on turn 4 and pump one of your other creatures immediately. Like you get that effect immediately when you play it on turn 4. He doesn't even have to attack yet. Fresh Face Recruits, a 2/1 free striker. Boros Challenger is a 2/3 mentor that can pump itself. It's a 2-drop. Sky Knight Legionnaire, if you played the original Ravnica, you'll remember how good that is. And like a, you know, a solid 3-drop and a 4-drop. We're gonna have 4 guild gates, so the Garrison Sergeant should almost always have double strike. And we also opened up a Gatekeeper Gargoyle. It's generally a 4/4, it's a 3/3 flyer by itself, but we're gonna play with 4 guild gates. We're probably gonna have at least 1 when we play it on turn 6. So it's usually a 4/4, kind of with, you know, with the upside. And now we're gonna look at all the colors and just build a deck based on a good curve. We want to play with the most powerful cards, obviously, and after we figure that out, we want to cut it down to having a good curve. Okay, I laid out all the red and white on curve, and the 2 blue cards were probably splashing. We're leaving out Haunted Witness and Fearless Halberdier. They're just kind of vanilla creatures that are not that good for what we're trying to do. We're going to try to cut down to 23. You can go 16 to 18 lands, but 17's, you know, generally where we want to end up at. Like 16, you have to be super duper aggro without a lot of high drops, and it's 18 lands, you just want to play a, you know, like a good control deck with a lot of card draw and stuff to do, you know, do with your mana. So let's just count how many cards we have so far. We want to end up at 23. Keep that in mind. Immediately, I'm going to cut 2 of the Boros Lockets. They're just not that good in these type of decks. We're trying to attack, and we don't want to take turn 3 off to play a Locket, even though they're good for, you know, catching in for 2 extra cards later on in the game. I think we can cut Sure Strike because Take Card does basically the same thing, and we don't want too many pump spells. We don't want to get to a point where we have like a pump spell and no creature to use it on. All right, let's take a look at the creatures. We have 20. We really don't need 20. We'll just cut some of the weakest. The board's really good with Mentor. You can pump a Mentor and attack with it. And we have what? 1 Mentor, 2 Mentor. So we're at 18 creatures. Can probably afford to go down to about 16. I want to keep the Gargoyle and the Flight. Like I said, the Gargoyle is going to be a 4/4 flyer 90% of the time. Flight is very good, and we have enough, like a low enough curve where we should be able to convoke it out on turn 6, maybe turn 5, possibly. And let's cut the Vigilance guy for now. It's kind of late game, and we're not like that much of a late game deck yet. We've cut 6 so far, so we need to cut 3 more. I really don't like that. Still don't like this Boros Locket. I think we can get rid of this. Doesn't do what we wanted to do. And honestly, as much as I like Chemistry's Insight, you know, like draw 4. Let's splash color, and we can just, you know, I think we'll be happy with draw if we ever get the splash color. If we're playing both of the blue cards, we're gonna need at least 4 blue sources. If we're playing 3, or if we're playing 1, we can get away with 3. This is hard, but I think this is pretty close. You need 1 more cut. I'm actually leaning towards this flyer. Like, it's great on turn 1, but if you ever draw it like turn 4 or 5, like, it's quite a bit weaker. I think it's this or maybe a Take Heart. Close, actually. No, I think we're gonna keep the Take Heart because the raw is at the 3. When he minus, it counts the number of instants and sorceries in the graveyard for the amount of damage it deals, and we're only at 5 right now. It might deal 1 or 2, but I think it's important enough where we need 1 or 2 when we do play it. Dawn of the Last Hope, I'm not sure how good this is. It's a very, very late game card. It says whenever you gain life, you may pay 2 to draw a card. Don't believe we have 1 life gain, but it also pumps out 1/1 lifelink creatures. It's a late game engine. It'll let you win the game later on. Like, it pumps out jump blockers, let you draw cards later on to, you know, close out the game, like, eventually. We are playing sealed, so the games are gonna last quite a bit longer normally. And, you know, it's the pre-release. I want to play my rares, so I'm gonna keep this guy in. And if you take a look at our curve, it's actually a pretty decent curve, you know. Pretty good early drops and like a few, you know, late. And you have what? You have 3 very good removal spells that'll deal at least 4 damage. You have Planeswalker, late game enchantment, 2 pumps. I'm pretty happy with this. So I think we're only going to play 1 island. Maybe, well, we'll see. We do have a lot of fixing. Okay, so we're finished building our mana base. We're playing 6 plains, 5 mountains, and 2 islands. And how I arrive at that is for a normal 2-color format, you want to play 9, 8 land, 9 and 8. That's a pretty good mana base if you're playing 2 colors roughly equal. And even for these 3-color formats, that's kind of what you want to do for your main colors. You want to get at least 7 to 8 main primary sources in for Boros, it's red and white. And why that is, you never want to be in a position where you have your splash color of land and not being able to cast like your primary colored cards in hand. And with our mana base here, we have 6 plus 2 from the Guild Gate, so we have 8 sources of white, which is plenty. And we have 5 sources of red, plus the Guild Gates, that's 9. So it's like a 9-8, like a normal, mana base. And because we have so many Guild Gates, we're able to play 2 islands and essentially have 4 blue sources for 1 blue card. And this blue card is a bomb. Yeah, like anytime you get a Planeswalker, you really want to play it. And it only becomes weird if you have to splash for both of the colors. If you only need to splash for one of the colors to play a Planeswalker, you should definitely do it. Anything that powerful, where it just gives you extra card every single turn, or it's the bomb where it just wins you the game when you play it, these are the cards you're looking to splash if you can. The main thing is, A, it has to be powerful. B, you need the mana base to be able to do it. You can sacrifice your mana base somewhat to try to push it in that direction if the card is good enough. Or sometimes, life just gives you 2 as a Guild Gate and you can just do it for free almost. And one thing I should mention about splashing is you do not want to splash for double color cards, almost regardless of how good they are. Like I said, we had 2 of the 3/4 flyers that are fantastic. And if we played these, plus quasi-duplicate, which lets you copy a creature you control, you can do it twice, also fantastic. But in order to play these cards, we have to go up to about 7 blue sources for all the double blue cards. Even if we're only playing 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, we have to go up to about 7. And if we do that, we end up with a mana base that's maybe 6 white sources, 6 red sources, and 7 blue sources. Somewhere along the line where it's equal. And then, when you're playing the game, you're just flipping coins and hoping to be able to play every single card you draw. And it's easy to get to a position where you just draw a single island or a single Guild Gate and have a couple of double blue cards stuck in your hand. So yeah, splash when you can. Splash when the card is very, very good, but don't get too greedy.